Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Today we're going to use this art impression stamp. It's called Crown Set, and I've already stamped it out in Memento Tuxedo Black. So these are our skin colours that we're going to use, and they're pretty much my go-to skin colour. So take note. We start with the EO4, just darkening up the colour of the shadows, which on itself is a bit of a weird sort of colour, and then come in with the next lighter colour, which is the E11, which makes the pinky sort of colour E4 sort of toned down and become that brown. So it's a neutral colour, but you know, it's a funky E4 is a funky colour. So we go EOO, and then we're going to colour it up and highlight it with the EOO, and then I'll go back in and play with some of the other colours. And make my highlights a little bit different. Oh, I forgot the R20. So this is probably the first card for a little while where I'm only teaching you the style rather than anything else. Although Tuesday's cards got a don't do what I do, do what I say. But it worked out all right. So I do in the end forget about her lips, and the photo at the very end doesn't have it, but I did fix it up. Trust me, I did fix it up. So we're just going to go through and play with, well, not play. I'm not playing. Well, I'm playing with my textures, but going to colour up the rest of her skin. So it's all pretty much coloured the same way with the EO4, E1100, and EOO. And I've sort of thought I tried to think about where my highlights were going to be. Her face did give me a bit of grief, but then I thought, most people's neck sort of goes in a bit, even though she doesn't have much neck. But the legs were pretty straightforward. So while I finish off that, Victoria, Australia, back in lockdown, because, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, people are totally ignoring social distancing for one reason or another. Actually, I heard on the radio before making this that someone got sprung last night at 1:30 ordering a huge bucket of KFC. I don't know if they have that in other places, but KFC. And they all got fined like a ridiculous, it's like altogether 16 fines altogether. Don't quote me, but $2,600 Australian dollars. Anyway, people just get flippant and spoil it for the rest of us, basically. Isn't that the same way as always it happens? Anyway, here endeth the rant. So we're onto the hair now, and I tried a couple of different colours, the E29, 27, 25. She's quite dark really for her, I suppose, but she's obviously a woman that colours her hair. I'm going to say that. She's a woman of style, which sometimes I really wanted to make her one of those old-fashioned, there used to be, when I was hairdressing, there used to be this rinse, and obviously the ladies thought it was lovely. And it wasn't my cup of tea, and if you've got that, each their own. But those ladies that used to do the pink rinse or the blue rinse, I don't even know if they have it these days. It's been a long time since I've seen anyone with that sort of type of hair. I almost really wanted to do her with one of those, but clearly I didn't. So we're going to colour her the white parts, which is going to be the fluff on her jacket and obviously her skirt, in just white. So we're just doing the shadows. So she's going to use, and I'm just going to soften the white with the O, and we're going to go through and with I'm going to call it fluff, because I reckon any woman that's going to be dressed up quite like that is going to have fluff on the edges of her jacket. If I could talk, that would be handy. So that's what I'm going to call that. I'm going to make that a bit sparkly later on with just a little bit of Wink and Stella. So my go-to favourite colour at the colouring at the moment, colour, anyway, is the BV29, and all the colours are going to be linked on my blog. BV29, BG 78, 75, 72 and 10. I'm just loving this colour at the moment. And I need to branch out in other things, but I've been super busy, so I go to my go-to favourites. So in some ways, I probably shouldn't have coloured her left. Yeah, when you're looking at her left, her right, my left, jacket, that darker colour. But the way her body is twisted, I thought that would be a bit of the darker colour. So she's going to have darkness, a bit of shadow underneath the fluff, underneath her arm there. And of course over on the other side of her jacket, because as I said, the way she is turned. And I'm actually going to go over this twice because I really wanted to, I don't know, the colouring didn't seem to be doing it quite for me, so it needed a bit more, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to layer a couple of, saturate the cardstock, which I have a really bad habit of not doing that. So do as you're told, not what I say, what I do. Is that right? Yes. So we're just going to go back over. So she's a pretty simple little girl, woman to colour. Her earrings are going to be the same colour as her jacket, and so are her shoes. But her shoes, I'm just going to go in, I think it was BG 75 or 78, and just do it straight. Nothing too amaze balls or anything like that with that. And going with the grey, the cool greys, we're actually going to do that on the ground as well. I do originally cut the sentiment out of using a die, but I completely changed my mind, which clearly you'll see at the end of this, and restamp it with some on some black cardstock with white embossing powder. Now this stamp set is fairly old. I've had it for a while. I have used it before. Shock horror. And I looked on the I googled it, and she is still available on the Art Impressions website, which is super good. I love it when companies don't give it like one run and then kill it or something. It's, you get more wear out of it. So her earrings, I'm going to use some glossy accent on her glasses and her earrings, because I just thought they might be a little bit blingy. That's pretty much the only reason. The glossy accent on the glasses, of course, is because it's glass, so it's going to be reflective, but I just decided that her earrings were going to be rather a bit glossy. So her shoes blend in a little bit with that, but honestly in real life it doesn't quite blend in quite so much. Now I'm going to use Paper Rose die to cut her out. I think it's the Australian Nesting Circles one, and it's like the 4th largest. As I said, you can see the sentiment there, but we're going to change that. So this is a Paper Rose stencil. It is right here, so I can tell you it's flowy leaves, and it's a 6x6 stencil, and we're going to use some Nuvo embossing mousse. That's better. The name of the colour is Mother of Pearl, and we're just going to put a little bit here and a little bit there and just smush it around. So I've used a bit of press and seal on this baby to keep it all nice and moist. So if you've got some of that through Australia and through Costco, but otherwise I reckon Glad would just probably work just the same. I was just checking there, making sure I had put on enough, but I mean, if I hadn't, I'm stuffed anyway, because how am I going to put that back on? So this is my sentiment. This is just me sort of thinking about that sentiment. So we've stamped it with some Versamark, and we're just going to clean that up, and we've just put some white embossing powder. And we'll heat it all up. So I trim it down. I can't tell you what sizing, but I've just trimmed it down just to fit the sentiment, and that's about it. And we're going to make a little banner edge, I suppose you call it. I don't know. Words just stop me when it gets up to dinner time and I'm trying to do a voiceover. Well, before the monsters, bless their heart, come looking for food. Love them, but you know. So I'm going to put the woman. So this is my banner. So you do a slit up the middle and then just connect up. Sort of bring it up into the point of the banner from the edge. It's really easy. So the black cardstock, it's just straight black cardstock, but it's going to be 11.5 by 7.2. I could have die cut it out of the next largest one, but I wanted a little bit less of a border. I'm going to glue that flat. But with the black, I would raise him up. And there we go. That's what the card's going to look like in the end. So this panel here is a full A6 card front, Australian card front, which is about 14.8 centimeters by 10.5. And we've just done that flat onto the card front. We're just rubbing a little bit of the glue off there because it's oozed. I knew it got really, really close. And the woman is going to be with some foam mount, as you can see here. And we're going to do a bit of a combo deal with that foam mat is not staying. Okay, I'm going to tell you straight. It's not staying. I played with it. I decided, yeah, no. So if you've seen me before, so I peel off a little bit of the foam because this tape that we get here in Australia is super, super sticky. You can see the foam mount's gone there. And I will come back in and navigate a little bit of the foam mount in the sort of behind, sort of underneath. So there's a little bit there and there's going to be a tiny strip like underneath it all that we'll put on there. And I've taken the backing off it and I've just peeled it on and sort of tried to poof it underneath there because it was really going to be hard for me to figure out where everything was going to be beforehand. So apart from a little bit of, I have a goober that's going to stick out there, which I need to trim off a little bit. For some reason, it didn't cut very well. Apart from some Wink and Stella and our glossy accents, that's going to be our card. So please like and subscribe. All the details will be over on my blog. I will also have the Copic colours that I've coloured in, used to colour in. So yeah, that will be all over on the blog. So feel free to pop over there. Also, when you subscribe and like this video, which would be awesome, click the bell just so you get notified of next time I upload. That would be super good. So I'm slowly growing. It's a slow process and I'm really getting the hang of it. I'm really starting to hopefully agree and I'm really starting to enjoy it. So that's the card. Take care and I hope you like it and I hope you see you soon.